as part of efforts to establish the cause of the fatal accident. Witnesses at the site reported that the aircraft briefly descended and appeared to land momentarily near the area before taking off again and crashing minutes later. Now, the accounts are expected to form a key part of the ongoing investigations. Authorities have assured the public that a thorough and transparent inquiry will be conducted to determine what led to the tragic accident. The crash, which has plunged the nation into mourning, continues to raise questions as families and leaders await answers.
The components that the investigators have picked from this scene of accident, some of them will be ferried outside the country, particularly to the state of manufacturer and the state of design of the aircraft as required by the protocols of the convention to which Kenya, our country, is a signatory to.
We expect the team to do an investigation and give us a report in the next 30 days, a preliminary report of exactly what happens. And what we want to ask the public, to ask our leaders and everybody, it's not to speculate.
The team that from the ministry as well as the other security organs are doing what they need to do just to get to the bottom of what really happened. Of course, there is already initial report that was filed yesterday.
Mist ilikuwa kubwa, so tukasikia hiyo ndege inakuja, kumbe ilikuwa inatafuta emergency landing. Sasa ikatafuta mpaka ikapata hapo juu forest fulani hapo.
Alianguka, alipiga chini pale, akakuja akakonga miti, akatupa watu wawili hapa, akatupa wawili hapo, akatupa wawili mbele huko.
Right, moving on, the bodies of Emurua Dikir, Member of Parliament, Johana Ngeno, and 5 others who perished in a helicopter crash in Masoko, Nandi County have been transferred to Macharia in Nairobi. Initially, the victims' remains were taken to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital Macharia in Eldoret shortly after the tragic accident that was on Saturday evening. Now, the family members, friends, and political leaders, including Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, and Transport CS David Chirchir, received the bodies at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport before escorting them in a solemn convoy to Nairobi.
Jioni hii tumefika hapa funeral home kutoka Eldoret ambapo tumefikisha the 6 bodies ya Mheshimiwa Johana Ngeno, pilot na wasaidizi wake 4. Bado tunatoa condolences to the families, to the people of Kenya, to the Parliament of Kenya.
Tangu asubuhi tumekuwa tukipanga ili hizi miili ama hizi bodies sifikishwe hapa. Tumefikisha na tunataka tu kuambia wananchi wetu wa Kenya ya kwamba yale yamefanyika.
Kwanza kabisa, our bodies are in very bad shape. Hatutafanya viewing. Tunataka kuona ya kwamba kesho they'll work on them.
We knew the honorable member personally. I knew past 3 of the members in a personal way. The honorable Johana Ngeno, the pilot George Were, and Carlos.
We have just received the bodies, like I indicated, and very unfortunate indeed. And we really wish to condole with the families, the members of Parliament, and wish to assure you, as the ministry, will work to establish what exactly happened before the fateful crash.
Kama kuna mtu ambaye ako close na Mheshimiwa Johana Ngeno, labda mimi ni mmoja yao, sababu I'm the brother-in-law na namjua yeye sana, tumefanya kazi pamoja. So nataka tu kutoa uonyo ama kuwaomba wa ndugu zetu. Kuna njia mingi ya kutafuta kura, lakini kutafuta kura kwa kifo sidhani kama ni desturi yetu ya Kiafrika ama desturi ya Wakenya.
Right, at the same time, hundreds of residents of Emurua Dikir constituency alongside local leaders have continued visiting the home of the late Member of Parliament Johana Ngeno to offer condolences and support to his bereaved family. Now, somber mood prevailed among those who gathered, with many expressing shock and grief over Ngeno's sudden passing. Now, the community members described his death as a devastating loss to the constituency, highlighting the profound impact of his leadership and service. Visitors, including political figures and local elders, commended Ngeno for his dedication to education, development, and justice in the region, emphasizing that his absence leaves a significant void in both public service and community advocacy.
Tulistuka sana, hatukulala, tulipiga nduru Usiku tulikuwa hii town tukilala kwa lami tukipiga nduru.
Sijui nitadilitaje namba yake, sijui nitakuwa nini. Amenisomesha tangu form 1 up to form 4. I don't know. May his soul rest in peace.
He got 3 times bila break. So in fact tulishukuru uongozi yake. Mashule tumepata ya kutosha. So we love him. Tunapenda. Hata saa hii vile ameenda mshangao kubwa kwetu.
I sincerely want to pass my condolences. Pray to God that his soul may rest in eternal peace. And at this juncture, I also want to appeal to Emurua residents. I know you've been hit very hard.
Right. At the same time, the United Opposition that has called for a swift and independent investigation into the helicopter crash that claimed the life of Emurua Member of Parliament Johanna Ngeno and 5 others. Speaking during a church service, the United Opposition led by Rigathi Gachagua urged the government to conduct a comprehensive inquiry to establish the circumstances surrounding the fatal accident. Now, he said that the probe must be transparent and credible to assure the public of its integrity. Gachagua further alleged that the late MP had been coerced into signing an impeachment document against him under pressure from the president. He claimed that Ngeno had faced intimidation against him under pressure against him. Now, the opposition leader also demanded that Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen step aside to pave the way for investigations setting previous political differences between the CS and the deceased legislator. Gachagua alleged that Murkomen had been linked to efforts aimed at destabilizing opposition activities. Take a look.
He's my great friend, and he is my political ally and a confidant, and he has been very close to me for a very long time. In Kisumu, he called me before I was hounded out of office, and he told me what William Ruto is planning, and he was very disturbed. And he felt that by Ruto doing what he intended to do, he would destabilize his own government. And I was in Kisumu, he came to see me. And once Ruto learned that he was coming to see me in Kisumu, he sent the National Intelligence Service to bag my room so that he can record the conversation between me and Johanna Ngeno. And we had a big discussion, and he told me what he was going through and the way he was being persecuted for fighting for the rights of the Kipsigis people. He told me that a plan had been hatched to remove me from office because I was also fighting for the interests of my community the way he was fighting for his community. And he told me he was opposed to it, and he felt the president would destabilize his own government, which has happened. And he said he would do whatever he needs to try to persuade him. And immediately the recording was taken to William Ruto. He was summoned, and he was thoroughly intimidated, and he was a very worried man. So when it came to the impeachment process, he came to see me and showed me messages that William Ruto had sent him, threatening him that if he doesn't impeach me, he would face dire consequences. And he was crying. He came at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I listened to him, and I told him, the die is cast. Ruto has the numbers, he has bought everybody. Even if you don't sign that impeachment, it will change nothing. Instead of endangering you and your life and your family, just go ahead and sign. He signed with a lot of tears. The same happened to Muhammad Ali, the MP for Nyari. He was also thoroughly intimidated, and he shared me with the messages Ruto was sending them from the United States. Since then, I've been talking to Ngeno, and he has been under a lot of siege from Kipchumba Murkomen and Aaron Cheriot, trying to suppress his ambition to be the leader of the Kipsigis community. As we call for investigations, I must say that Kipchumba Murkomen cannot be CS Interior, and the family of Ngeno and the Kipsigis community and other Kenyans expect fair and transparent investigations because Kipchumba Murkomen has been fighting Mheshimiwa Ngeno. We want to ask President William Ruto to ask Kipchumba Murkomen to step aside to allow for thorough investigations into the air crash.
Right, in yet another sad story, 3 people have been confirmed dead and several others injured after a lorry transporting building materials lost its brakes and rammed into roadside traders in Kabarnet town, but that is in Baringo County. And the truck reportedly plunged into vendors, border riders, and a parked vehicle before overturning, causing panic in the busy town center. Witnesses said that the vehicle appeared to have developed brake failure moments before the crash. And according to Baringo County Referral Hospital Medical Officer Dr. Festus Kipngetich, 13 casualties were received at the facility following the accident. Now 7 of the injured were treated and stabilized, while 3 critically injured patients were referred to a higher hospital for specialized care.
An RTA that occurred in Kabarnet town. So of this, there were 13 patients. Of this, 7 were stable and we were able to manage them effectively. Then 3 of the patients currently are in critical conditions. We were able to refer them to a higher facility for better care. And then we have 3. Unfortunately, we lost 3 of our patients.
Right, our condolences to the bereaved families and friends of those who lost their lives. Right. Moving on, Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza has strongly condemned a deadly attack on Lenya police post in Mumias West Sub-County that left 1 police officer dead and another injured. Speaking in Huisero, Governor Baraza termed the incident as unfortunate and called on security agencies to conduct thorough investigations to ensure those responsible are swiftly apprehended and brought to justice. Now, he further urged authorities to intensify security operations across Kakamega County to curb rising insecurity and guarantee the safety of residents. The governor emphasized the need for collaborative efforts between security agencies and the community to prevent similar attacks in the future, noting that the law enforcement officers play a critical role in maintaining peace and order.
Mimi nataka kuomba vyombo vya usalama, you must apprehend those thugs ili wachukuliwe hatua za kisheria. We shall not rest until those thugs have been arrested. Na yule askari ambaye alijeruhiwa tunamwombea afueni kwa sababu he was in line of duty. Mimi naomba GSU wafanye kazi yao kusaka wale majambazi bila kujeuri wale ambao hawana hatia.
All right, now let's talk politics now. And the opposition leaders have stepped up criticism of President William Ruto's administration, accusing it of ignoring public concerns and contributing to the growing dissatisfaction among Kenyans. Speaking during a chat service, former Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Fred Matiang'i, faulted the government for what he described as taking the Kenyan public for granted, a move he said has led to its declining popularity. Dr. Matiang'i further alleged that the administration is fostering criminality by allegedly harboring non-offenders within the country, remarks that are likely to heighten political tensions. Now the leaders as well, under the banner of the United Opposition, vowed to usher in new administration that they say will prioritize listening to citizens' concerns and acting in their best interest. Take a look.
Some of us tunatarajia tutakufa wakati wowote. I can tell you that. What we are doing is si kazi ya rais hivyo. But we know kuna nchi ambayo lazima itetewe, na hiyo nchi inaitwa Kenya. Na hii Kenya lazima tutaibadilisha, tuache zile tabia zetu mbaya. Zile tabia mbaya ndizo Ruto amebeba: wizi, kuua watu, kuchukua mashamba ya watu. I believe, even though I don't have the evidence, Ngeno has been killed because he refused to sign the land which has got rare minerals kule Kilgoris.
Mimi namuuliza Ruto, kabla ya kutengeneza hiyo matope ya kwangu, huyu Rigiji alikusaidia sana. Na ulikuja hapa 2.5 years, now more than 3 years, ukaahidi. Ili watu wale wanasema wakuamini kwamba you mean what you say, kama you launched barabara hapa. Na kusema, because the clip was very clear, kwamba within 1.5 years, atakuja kulaunch hii barabara. Hata kama uko na shida na Rigiji, je, watu wa Shamata hawa, kina mama hawa na wazazi, uko na shida gani nao? Na more importantly, kiongozi wa nchi hapaswi kuwa ni mtu ambaye anaongea urongo mtupu kila kuchao.
So it's our responsibility as the opposition or the alternative government or government in waiting to point out that there are several Kenyans, parents, relatives and friends who are very anxious that bombs are raining in within the Middle East region, and we are not hearing anything from our government. We don't want any Kenyan to be brought back here in coffins.
I keep wondering, why do they think they are so unpopular? Shule ilichomeka hapa Nyeri the other day, watoto wakakufa hapo darasha. Up to now, nobody knows what happened. There is no report that is existent, nothing. Watoto walichomeka, wakakawa ashes. Kule Pwani, kulikuwa na kaburi ilipatikana pale. They don't know, they can't tell you coherently how many bodies were found there and what actually happened. Sahi tumeketi sisi zote hapa. We lost our CDF, Chief of Defense Forces, the late General Ogola. Fantastic soldier. I don't know, I was asking Speaker Muturi if you have seen a coherent report where the government explained what exactly happened. You know, this government takes the public for granted, they don't care. It's a very irresponsible government and it's a wrong way to manage a country.
Now, President William Ruto on Sunday joined the fraternity of Alliance High School to mark its 100th anniversary, announcing a 550 million Kenya shillings government investment to upgrade infrastructure and safeguard the institution's legacy of academic excellence. The president said that 60 million Kenya shillings will fund the construction of 40 classrooms, while 200 million Kenya shillings has been set aside to improve roads around the school. The Ministry of Sports will also build a 60 million Kenya shillings sports academy at the institution. Earlier, President William Ruto handed over a 640-bed dormitory worth 155 million Kenya shillings and dining hall cost at 88 million Kenya shillings, both funded by the government. At Alliance Girls High School, he pledged 155 million for a 640-bed dormitory, while 40 million Kenya shillings for 24 classrooms and 100 million to complete a science complex.
Looking at the alumni of this school and just the sample of example that is here, Kenyans from across the Republic over generations have been admitted to this school. Amos Wako, I see Amos Wako here, our AG emeritus, all the way from Busia. I see Judge of Supreme Court, the Honorable Lenaola, all the way from Samburu. The Honorable Amason Kingi, all the way from Magarini. I see Ekwe Turo here, all the way from Turkana. That is the DNA of a great institution called the Alliance. I proudly stand here today to say that we have done our small bit in making sure that the history of this institution, the legacy of this great school continues. This morning, I was privileged to hand over a dormitory that will accommodate 640 men. Which we have built as the government of Kenya at a cost of 155 million. Complete, handed over. Again, this morning, I have handed over a dining hall which we have built at the cost of 88 million. Again, I have seen the road network. We still have some work to do. I did ask the Ministry of Roads to set aside 200 million. Already 100 million has been spent. We are going to spend another 100 million to make sure that roads, both in the Alliance Girls and Alliance Boys and Alliance High School are completed. I have discussed with the board chair and the principal of this school. There is a requirement for additional classrooms. Initially, they had requested us to build 21 classrooms. We have already provided 35 million to build those classrooms, but now I have revised that figure so that instead of building 21 classrooms, we are going to build for you 40.
All right, moving on, the allies of President William Ruto under the Jamii Imara Mashinani initiative have accused the opposition of spreading misinformation aimed at discrediting government development projects. Speaking at a press conference upon arrival in Isiolo County for a two-day citizen engagement forum, the GIM leadership said false narratives were being peddled to undermine progress made by the government. The initiative brings together cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, departmental directors, CEOs of parastatals, forums, provide residents an opportunity to ask questions across sectors and receive immediate responses from relevant government representatives, from helping bridge what they describe as a growing misinformation gap. Now, the Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary, that is Mary Modhoni, who is leading in Isiolo delegation, raised concern over rising cases of drug and substance abuse in Isiolo, warning that continued misuse without moderation is contributing to increased cancer cases nationwide. Now, she further noted that that substance abuse has led to declining hygiene standards among some affected youth.
Wana maneno ya uongo. Watu wengi, especially wapinzani ambao hawako katika serikali, wakati serikali inafanya kazi, wanaeneza uongo, na wakati wanaeneza uongo inaonekana kana kwamba hakuna kinachoendelea, lakini kwa uhakika na kwa ukweli kinaendelea. Sijui kama juzi walisema kama barabara ya Modogasha haiwezekani. Ama Modogasha iko wapi? Kotulo iko wapi? Iko wapi? Inaendelea. Lakini walisema iwezekani. Sisi kama wafanyikazi wa serikali tumekuja kueleza kinagaubaga yale ambayo yanaendelea kwa ukweli na kwa uhakika. Tuongee hapa Isiolo mkiwa ukweli, mkisimama mkiongea ukweli. Mshaikuwa na PS ati amekuja hapa mashinani kuuliza maswali. Si ni mara ya kwanza? Haijai kuwa. Kwa hivyo wakati tumekuja hapa,
Right, now let's get sporty, and KCB Rugby delivered a disciplined second half display to secure a 25-15 victory over the Menengai Oilers in pulsating Kenya Cup encounter at the SK Showground in Nakuru. Now the host started brightly and looked poised to take an early lead, but amidst a penalty attempted proved costly. Now KCB quickly they capitalized with Nick Akulo crossing for the opening try before Brian Wahinya converted for a 7-0 advantage. Oilers responded with a well-worked try to narrow the deficit to 7-5. However, Abu Talib Wesonga's missed conversion denied them a chance to level matters, a lapse that would haunt the hosts throughout the contest. Wahinya extended KCB's lead with a penalty to make it 10-5, then added two more in quick succession as the visitors surged ahead 16-5. Oilers fought back through Kipchirchir's powerful try, cutting the gap to 16-10, but another missed conversion kept them trailing. The hosts managed another unconverted try before a conversion before halftime to edge within a single point at 16-15, keeping the contest finally balanced. Take a look.
Our boys came out, they presented themselves, they exactly the same of the game, and they're able to get the result that they came down to get in Nakuru. Congratulations to KCB rugby players for the effort and for the discipline they came out and showed the world today. The weather just stated the way we could play. So any chance we got, we took our chances. So we just needed a wind coming down here, and we were able to fight our way to get the win. So we are just going to move us a game at a time, play our next game and see where we'll fall to be seen before we go for the playoffs. It's just a matter of giving everybody an opportunity just to bring that bond and to bring the unity of the family, of the Lion-hearted family. I think everybody walked in and it just builds the morale in the camp, and everybody just knows what they need to do as a team. I think with this win, it's another advantage and it builds the morale to go into the next one. I know that our boys will be psyched for the next game. They'll come out, they represent us, they represent the bank. So we'll come out and support them and see how good we can be as a team.
It's been a good game. It's been a tough game. The first half we started off well from the get-go like we had planned, but we managed to start the game on the right.
Right, it is exactly 29 minutes past the top of the hour. You're now up to speed with us making headlines from across our 47 counties and of course across our border. This is the first day of March 2026 and how I trust that this month, comes with the blessings. All right, thank you so much for keeping me company until this particular minute. And of course, on behalf of the entire team that made this particular program a success, Nasema asante sana. Do yourself a lovely night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, let's do this again when God says we do.